The food in this story, the feeding of the 5,000, it's kind of interesting to consider the food. The story starts out quite reasonably. The disciples go to Jesus, tell him the problem, and offer him a solution. Hey, it's getting late. That's the problem. They're hungry. That's another problem. Jesus, here's a solution. Why don't you dismiss them, send them away so they can go get something to eat, find a place to stay. But Jesus offers them a different solution. He says, no, you feed them. And then I'm struck by the fact that they right away know about this food. They right away say, hey, all we have is 5 loaves and 2 fish, which is, of course, their way of saying to Jesus, Jesus, that's stupid. Your solution is dumb. But I'm curious, I noted the fact how quickly they knew how much food they had. And I was just wondering whose food it was. The way Luke tells it here, it seems to imply that it might be the disciples' food. Maybe they had lunch as a group, and then this is what was left over from lunch. If you read the story in the book of John, you will find that John talks about a boy who has this food. But regardless of who's got the food, as you go down the story a little farther, suddenly Jesus has all the food. I'm struck by that. Maybe I'm the only one, but if I was in charge of this food and Jesus said to me, hey, would you give me the food, I think I might negotiate it a little bit. I think I might say to Jesus, hey Jesus, how about I'll give you 3 loaves, 1 of the fish, which is more than 50%, right? What a good deal, you know? But they don't. The kid, if it's the boy in John's story, or if it is the disciples, for whatever reason, they are able to just give Jesus all of it, and keep in mind, they don't even know what he's going to do with it. It's not like they know he's going to turn it into lots and lots of food. He just says, hey, have them sit down, give me the food. You just don't know what's going to happen. But it got me thinking, this idea of giving everything to Jesus. I was just wondering if you and I could look at some examples where we don't do that. We should, and we know we should, but we just kind of hold back a little bit in some area of our lives. Take an example I use often, the example of lying. There's not a single person here, I am sure, that would suggest that it is an okay thing to tell a big lie. But the little lies, well, that's a different story. It's kind of like we're willing to say, oh, Jesus, yeah, you're absolutely right about this. I will give you this. I will tell the truth in all these situations, but I'm not sure I can do that in these situations. And you just get down the list. Giving. Do we hold back in our giving? Love of neighbor. Do we love some people and not others? We're content to love the people we like. We're not so much interested in trying to find ways to follow Jesus' command to love the people we don't like. Sabbath, I struggled with this for years, still do in some respects. The idea of, am I giving 24 hours to God? That's the Sabbath. Or am I just doing what I used to do years and years ago, which was just, I'm going to Mass. The rest of the day is mine, Lord. Screens, what we watch. Time, in what way are we giving our time to the Lord? Are we holding some of it back for prayer, or holding some of it back so we don't pray as much as we should? We don't read our Bibles as much as we should? More I thought about it, just this is a short list. You could come up, I'm sure, with lots of areas in your life where you're kind of like me, like the rest of us. We're sort of on the same page with Jesus. We are, Jesus, I see where we're going with this. I'm happy to do this. Jesus wants some food. Yeah, Jesus, yeah, sure. Here, let me give you 3 loaves and a fish. That'd be great. Happy to do it. But the idea of going all in, to use the expression from the game of poker, that's a little harder for us. And for some of you, I don't know what you're thinking right now, you might think, well, that's not realistic, or that's only for saints, or maybe you're thinking, wow, just that little list you gave sounds like a lot of work. Like, to do that would take so much effort. You're just feeling a sense of the weight of it, or you're just like, I'm just so tired even thinking about it. But it doesn't have to be that way. I just encourage you to consider the end of the story. Whoever it is, they give all the food. 5 loaves, 2 fish. What comes back to them? Well, they get to eat like everybody else. And there was 12 baskets of leftovers, which means that they could have kept eating, and eating. They ended up with way more than they gave to Jesus. And not that that's the way you and I should give, of course, expecting that, I don't know, Jesus is like some bank and we give money and we'll get way more money back. I don't think that's the intent, especially given, again, that these people don't know what it is Jesus intends to do with it. But the point is that going all in, giving it all to Jesus, it seems to work out really well. See, you and I, in so many of our areas of our life, we think that if we follow the Lord all the way, we're going to miss out. We're going to lose out on something. And we don't want to do that. We're just afraid that, no, that's not going to work. And I appreciate how hard it is to hear. But that's just not true. We're not going to miss out on anything. We're not going to lose out on anything if we commit fully to the Lord. If you want this homily in a line, put it this way: it is absolutely worth it to give Jesus all the food.